So I don't know if everyone knows about this or not. A friend told me about it, about all these cruise ships were being pretty much on lockdown, and they were being left like out in the ocean. They weren't allowed to do anything. They were, locked in their rooms. I am going to play this clip because it talks about one of the cruise ships, and this is an update on it.
Town in the far north of Vietnam of about 10,000 people is now under quarantine following 5 cases of the virus. This is one image we have of the checkpoints that have been set up on the outskirts of the town. From Vietnam, we then shift to Cambodia because that US cruise ship, which had been turned away by 5 countries, has finally been allowed to dock. Here it is. It spent 2 weeks at sea searching for somewhere to stop, despite the fact there are no confirmed cases on board. And here's an image that we saw online of passengers cheering and clinking glasses as they finally arrived in port, and, well, they might celebrate. But for the moment, they're still going to have to remain on board as a precautionary measure. Next, we have to talk about perhaps the cruise ship that's been getting the most attention, the Diamond Princess, currently stuck in Yokohama in Japan. It has over 3,500 people on board, and no one's getting off. That's because of all those people, at least 200 passengers and crew are infected. Rupert Wingfield-Hayes is just beside it.
So the number of infections on board the Diamond Princess behind me here in Yokohama has again jumped today. 44 new cases confirmed today. That followed 39 cases yesterday, and that brings the total number of infections from the ship to 218. And that means, as we know now, that this is now the single biggest outbreak of the COVID-19 virus anywhere outside mainland China. The Japanese government has made a small concession to the criticism that has been building of its the way that it's handling this outbreak. They've said that very elderly people over the age of 80 will be allowed to disembark if they have underlying health conditions, or if they're in one of those inside cabins that don't have any outside windows or balconies. So expect to see that start happening maybe tonight or on Friday. But there are many questions that remain. First of all, obviously, are infections still taking place? Is the virus still circulating around the ship? No one really knows. And the other big question is, why still has the Japanese government not managed to test all of the passengers and crew on board?
Now, 2 weeks ago, a group of British nationals were evacuated from Wuhan in China, and they've spent 2 weeks at a hospital in northwest England. Well, now all 83 of them have been released. You can see one of them celebrating there. They've all been given the all clear. Fiona Trott was there as they left.
Sort of strange 2 weeks it's been for them, evacuated from China, coming here we're all signing a form, agreeing to be quarantined, wondering, do I have the virus, and then getting used to the confinement itself. One man left here earlier shouting, I'm free. So there is relief here this afternoon, but also what's very, very clear is that all of the 83 people here are very, very grateful to the NHS staff for the care they have received.
Well, the man celebrating his release here is Matt Raw, and he's been giving his reaction to the BBC.
It is lovely, absolutely lovely to be out, and I'll no doubt be going out for a pint a little bit later.
And, well, who would blame him? Not that Matt is complaining about his ordeal, I should say.
I would say that 99.9% of us, if not 100% of us, are really happy to have been here. We're very grateful to have been here. You know, the last thing that any one of us would have wanted is to have passed that virus on, if we were infected, to pass it on to somebody else. You know, you have to live with that. You know, if somebody does get sick from it and dies, we'd have to live with that for knowledge for the rest of our lives. And of course, you know, that's not who we are. Most of us, we travel a lot, we travel extensively, and you know, there are risks associated with that. So,
Okay, guys, so this was an update on the cruise ships. There is more out there. There are a lot more they're not reporting. We know that. But to keep people in a confined space like a cruise ship, that is what is causing the outbreak to get as big as it is, you know. So here's an update on that. I hope that maybe, you know, this might relieve some of y'all, because one U.S. ship, they said it was able to dock, but they are not able to get off of the ship yet. They're still having to stay on it. But that was just a little bit of an update. The upper place in Vietnam is as a population of 10,000, and the whole city, in the whole city, the whole little place that it is being quarantined. They're setting up roadblocks, checkpoints, and all of that. So everybody, please keep all these people in our prayers. It is in the United States as well. It's in several other countries. They're just not reporting on it as much. So keep everyone in your prayers, and just stay vigilant and stay safe yourself. God bless you all.